Hey guys, this episode is brought to you by Jobber. Thank you, Jobber, so much for being a partner of us here at the Green Up Academy. If you guys want to use Jobber as a CRM to change your business forever, we've got a link in the show notes and also on our pages on Instagram and stuff like that. So make sure you save 20% off at Jobber by using our code. But also want to intro this episode to you for you to be ready to hear about how business and faith interact. You know, I'm a person of faith, a man of God, and it's very, very important to me. And I think that I need to do more episodes where I talk about how to be business owners that wrestle with where does faith come in, how do we work through it, and how do we make sure that everything we do points back to Jesus. So this episode, we're going to be talking about that. So y'all dive in with me and take a listen. Thanks, guys.
Welcome to the Green Up Academy podcast with Alex Kirby, where we focus on helping you level up your green industry business. Whether it's marketing, finance, employees, or strategy, we talk about everything on this show to help you apply it to your business and change your family and company's future for decades to come. Here's your host, Alex Kirby.
Hey everybody, Alex Kirby here with the Green Up Academy podcast. Hope you're doing great wherever you're watching, listening, or participating in this podcast. Thank you guys so much for being a part of what we do here at the Green Up Academy. Again, my name's Alex Kirby. If this is the first time you hearing my voice, I am a dad, a husband, a business owner here in Columbia, South Carolina. I recently sold my green industry business last year. We had 8 crews, 25 employees, and really, really good business. And it was a great ride. And who knows, may jump back in. But I have been helping, coaching, consulting, whatever you want to call it, people in the green industry for the last 5 years. And that is what the Green Up Academy is. We do courses, community, and coaching. So if you're wondering how you stumbled upon this or a friend told you about it, we try to talk about the green industry business side of things. So marketing, employees, schedules, systems, processes, all those things. So you're in the right place if you're trying to grow your business and not just learn how to mow better or, buy this piece of equipment, which one you should get. You're in the right place. Today, we're going to be talking about something that's really important to me. If you're not a Christian, that's totally okay. But I am, and faith is integral to everything I do in my life. And I thought it would be great to do an episode about how faith and business collide in the world we live in the green industry. So it can be really, really difficult, or how do I say it? It can be a struggle, that's the word I'm looking for, to figure out, okay, how do I live out my faith through my business? Okay, that's a question I think a lot of us who are believers ask ourselves at some point. For us at my company, we had devotionals, we prayed together every morning, we had speakers come in who talked about faith and how to, have that component in your life. And I consistently talked about, my faith journey with my guys. I don't know what that looks like for you and your company. Hopefully there's some element of it. But this week, my wife and I started leading a small group at church, and this is where I kind of thought about this. And in the book we're reading through, it's a book on parenting. If you're interested, it's by Paul David Tripp. I think it's called The 14 Gospel Principles of Parenting, something like that, Gospel Truths. And the introduction paragraph, the introduction part was so good. And I thought it would be great to talk about a little bit today, if you'll indulge me. It was explaining how there's a huge difference between ambassador parenting and ownership mentality parenting. And we can carry this exact principle into our businesses, and that's why I'm talking about it. And basically it explained that people who act as owners make decisions for the outcome that they want, right? So business owners, you hire this person because you want that to happen. You do this for that, et cetera, et cetera. Owners make choices for themselves for specific outcomes. Ambassadors, which is what we're called to be, for Christ, ambassadors are simply people who are messengers sent by the main person. We're messengers carrying the message of the person who sent us. We don't get to, and I think in the book it said something along the lines of We carry the message, the methods, and the character of the one who sent us. So we don't get a say. And if you're a Christian, if you're somebody that says, I love Jesus and I own a business, now you're never going to be perfect at this, by the way. Like, I have made so many mistakes in this area, but your goal is to carry out Christ's mission through your business. And so as an ambassador, and so ambassadors don't make choices. They don't, but yeah, he said this, but like, we are just messengers of the message. And so I thought it was really a cool idea for me to challenge you guys listening who are believers in asking ourselves, are we being good ambassadors, or are we having an ownership mentality to our business? Are we carrying Christ's message through our business? There's a great phrase that I use sometimes called business as a ministry. Are we saying, God, you've called me to this. You've called me to share the gospel. You've called me to disciple. You've called me to love my neighbor as myself. And I'm just going to do that. And I'm not going to make up my own plans and strategies and all these things and go, well, maybe I'll do this and maybe I won't do that. Like, no, you've called me to do these things. I'm going to do exactly what you tell me to do, and the chips are going to fall where they may. That's a hard thing to commit to, because our flesh says, well, you've got good ideas and you should do this, and that won't work here. And what I'm reminded of is something early on when I started my business. We had committed to a no debt company because I felt like that's what the Lord told us to do. That was his message. I'm going to carry that. And a lot of people thought I was kind of crazy. I was spending all the cash, and I was not buying a house when we had the money technically to like do the down payment and all that stuff. But I was committed to doing business God's way, and he blessed it. Like, he blessed it tremendously. And so I guess the question I want to pose to anyone listening today, if you think it's not for you, it's probably for you. That's how the Holy Spirit works. But what are some of the areas that you're not being the best ambassador for Christ in your company? I don't know that, whether it be finances, employees, maybe you haven't shared your faith to your guys in a while. Maybe you haven't asked them how you can pray for them. Have you helped a customer in a while? Maybe you get a call from a single mom who is about to get an HOA violation. And you're like, oh, we can't fit you in, rather than going, you know what? That's how I can help the least of these, as Christ says. So yeah, I just think that this conversation on ambassadorship versus ownership is just so beautiful for how to think about it with your business. I also, kind of want to pose, business is really hard. Like, there's a reason why a lot of people don't do it. It's really, really difficult. It's stressful. It's financially draining. It's sleep depriving. It's sorrowing. You get backstabbed. You get talked about. You get judged. If someone leaves you, good for them. If you fire someone, bad for you. Bad on you. And it's a tough place to live. I've done it. Over 100 employees in my career. Very, very tough. And so I kind of wanted to just give you a little speech maybe on what to do when business tests your faith. The first one is, don't give up. Be steadfast. The Bible talks about being steadfast and immovable. Put your feet where they're supposed to be and don't just fall over and give up, okay? Life is hard. The things that matter are really tough. I think about a palm tree in a hurricane. Like, that thing ain't moving, man. Even though it's in the midst of the wildest storm it's ever been through. So don't give up when your business tests your faith. Number two, when you're feeling stressed, remember that 1 Peter 5:7 says, cast all your anxiety and stresses on the Lord, for he cares for you. So that's something that when you're feeling that stress, give it right to the Lord. Lord, I feel stressed today. I don't know what to do with it, but I know you can. I'm giving it to you. Number two, I think it's so awesome. I love that the Lord is always near and close to us. When people misjudge or misinterpret something you're saying, just remember it's just par for the course. They're trying to serve their families the best they can. They're nervous. They're scared. It's part of it. You just have to get comfortable with people misjudging you in business. I can't tell you the amount of times I've gotten, why did you do this? You're a bad guy for that. And then you explain it to them, or maybe a month later they come back and like, you know what? I totally misjudged that. Sometimes they don't. A lot of times they don't. But just you got to be comfortable with being misjudged or misinterpreted in business, because people aren't business owners, so they don't understand it. It's like it's like a pro athlete when people in the fans go, "Why would you do that?" Like, you don't understand. Okay, you didn't play. You're just a fan. You didn't play at a high level. You have no idea why they did that, so stop at saying that. So you just got to get comfortable with that. The fourth one is when business tests your faith, don't get greedy. And this is one that I was talking to a guy about the other day who's very successful. Greed is a really weird thing. I feel like greed sneaks up on you, and you might not deal with it, but I think a lot more people deal with it than we'd probably admit, because it's a really yucky word, nasty. But when your business is doing really well, or you're doing really well, just remember it's not about the money by itself. Whenever you allow decisions to be made because of a money choice for your personal gain, that's where greed has crept in, and it becomes a poison, and it can poison your whole mind. So when business is going well, it'll test your faith there. So just wanted to kind of say that one. And then the last one is, when business tests your faith, make sure you're always authentic and genuine. When Jesus was going through hard things when he was in his ministry, often when something came up that he needed to pray on or reflect and make a really tough choice or big decision, he would go away and pray and be by himself. And he was authentic and genuine to that every time. Like that's who he was. He wasn't going to make a rash decision or not take that time. And I think that's something we can learn from, is don't try to be someone you're not. Don't try to be a hero, play the hero role. Take some time, go and do what you need to do. Take a couple days. And you'll see how God rewards that discernment and genuineness of, I'm going to genuinely think about this. I'm going to genuinely try to bring this to the Father, and you'll see some cool things from that, I think. But, I've recently been doing a lot of thinking and praying about, like, okay, Lord, like, what do you want for me in this season? I haven't asked that in a while until recently. And that's why I wanted to talk about this today, is without God, I would have nothing and be nowhere. And he is the sustainer and author of me and my faith, and he always makes a way. And so I just wanted to, hopefully encourage someone today. If it's been a while since you've opened your Bible, or if it's been a while since you've said, Lord, what do you have for me? What do you want from me? I'm your vessel. I'm your ambassador. Then maybe you do that today. And maybe that's something that will spark something. And for those listening who maybe faith's never really played a huge role, you believe in God, but you've never followed Jesus. You acknowledge he's real, and God's created things, but you've never really entered into a personal, deep father-son relationship. I want to encourage you to seek that out. And if you have any questions about it, about faith, and I came to Christ at 19 and changed everything for me. So you can email me at alex@thegreenupacademy.com. You can DM me anytime. And actually, I'll even put my number out there. It's 803-413-6420 if you want to shoot me a text. But faith is everything, and business tests your faith very strongly. And so if you're going through tough things, tough times, remember, God's with you. If you don't have a relationship with God, I'll encourage you to do so because you got to make every moment matter and don't waste another day thinking about what could be. So thank you guys again. I want to make sure you guys know that we have about 8 spots left for our Green Up gathering at Equip Expo. It's Wednesday night, October 16th, 6:30 to 10:30 at Main Event. It's like a Dave & Buster's. We have about 8 tickets left. They're $65 a piece. Very small, intimate event, so you can talk, get to know me, other guys who are in the Green Up Academy ecosystem. Really want you there, so please hit me up. I'll send you the link. You can find it on our website, on our homepage at thegreenupacademy.com. And really looking forward to that. We're 1 month away from when I'm recording this. So looking forward to seeing you guys at Equip. God bless you and your family. This is Alex. You keep growing, keep mowing, keep doing your thing. Peace. I just want to remind you guys that we have our Green Up Gathering at Equip Expo coming up. It's going to be on Wednesday night. I think it's October 16th. And it's going to be from 6:30 to 10:30 at Main Event. We have tickets still available for that. They're $60 a piece, but that includes a very, very robust dinner, unlimited games. I'm going to be giving a talk. We have a lot of raffles to give away. It's going to be a great time. So we have limited spots on that. Please sign up for that today if you don't mind, because I have to have a certain amount of tickets sold before the event so we can secure that place. So really excited to just hang out with you guys, all these people, all of you guys that I get to hear from, talk to, listen to the podcast for a long time. Just want to be able to have an intimate setting. There's only 40 tickets for that reason. So you guys, make sure you do that. So